and welcome back to the Dysfunctional Podcast. I'm trying to think if I have any updates for you. I got a new car, so that's exciting. Definitely a little upgrade from my last car, so that's really nice. So if we want to see video podcasts in the car, then let me know. Or if we like this better, then that's cool too. What else? I have a cute little candle lit that my mom got me. Like, you literally don't care about this at all, but the whole point of this is to talk, so I'm going to tell you about it, even though you really don't care. It's called Candy, Ginger, and Vanilla, so that's great. What else? I feel like a lot has happened in my life, but that's not really a podcast conversation. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to give you a little update. So today we're going to be talking about something that is a daily struggle with me that a lot of you might relate to. So this is a very common tendency that a lot of people have. For me, I've had this since I was young, and that's being a people pleaser. I looked up the definition of people pleasing, and according to Google, a people pleaser is someone who feels a strong urge to please others even at their own expense. Don't get me wrong, I think putting yourself before others is an amazing thing to do, but people pleasing, I feel like it takes that to a whole other scale that can just constantly negatively affect someone. So today we're going to be talking about what causes people pleasing, what are some negative effects of people pleasing, and I'll also be giving advice to people who may be struggling with people pleasing as well. So before we get completely into this, I want to talk about what causes someone to be a people pleaser in the first place. According to Google, the root of people pleasing can be conflict avoidance, which is a big one for me. Fear, trauma, anxiety, stress, perfectionism, and other things. So, like I said, the one thing that stands out to me the most is conflict avoidance. I will avoid conflict at all costs, even if that means doing something that I don't want to do. You want me to go fill up your water bottle that's like all the way across the hall for you? Of course I'll do that. I don't want you to be upset if I don't. For me, it's kind of like weighing out my pros and cons. So it's like, would I rather do something that I don't want to do or have someone be upset with me and be this whole other big thing? And I usually just end up doing the favor for them or whatever they want me to do that avoids conflict. But this is called being a pushover, which is something that I've been trying to work on. It's just very hard because this is a tendency I've had basically my whole life. I think just my number one fear is just people being upset with me or thinking that I'm being mean, so I'll usually try and avoid this at all costs. Next, I'm going to be talking about the negative effects of people pleasing. First of all, it's just exhausting because you're never going to please everyone, and I know that's a hard thing to swallow, trust me, but genuinely, you're never going to make everyone in your life happy all the time. My therapist said something about people pleasing one time, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're so right. She said, people pleasing can cause you to lose your sense of self when you're constantly worried about other people. Especially when you're a teenager, it can get really scary when you're like, well, I don't even know what I like anymore because I've been doing so many things for other people. When you're hyper fixated on others for so long, it can be really hard to focus on yourself and be like, okay, like, do I really want to do this or am I just doing this to make them happy? Another negative aspect of people pleasing is that in a way you're living for others, basically. At times I feel like there's nothing that really makes me, which is a really scary thing. Like I said before, because you're constantly thinking about what other people want instead of what you want. You feel like you have no really identity or a sense of self, which is really scary to think about. And I feel like as you keep saying, as you keep being a pushover, it gets to be something that's easier and easier to do. And it's hard because obviously a lot of people don't know that they're doing it, but people can take advantage of you because they know that you're going to say yes, sort of thing. But it's something where I realize I'm like, oh, like this person is asking me to do this because they know that I'll say yes, and I'll be upset about it and be like, why are they taking advantage of me like that? But I'm doing it to myself. So, and I feel like it definitely is like an innocent thing with a lot of cases. Some people just aren't even really thinking about it as taking advantage of someone, but that's what it is. But like I said before, it can be a very innocent thing. And I don't know. I've had not a lot. I've had some really hard things happen to me in life because I couldn't stand up for myself or I couldn't say no to someone. And people can see that, and there's going to be, you're going to come across the wrong person that might take advantage of that. Now I'm going to be giving some advice to my fellow people pleasers. Hopefully this can help some of you out. I think just gradually standing your ground is so helpful because once you do it once, you're going to be like so proud of yourself, and it's kind of addicting. You're like, okay, like I want to do that more. I also need to stop saying like. It's such a filler word for me, and every time I say it, I want to like bang my head against the wall. I'm stop. Anyway, I'm going to work on that. Yeah, and this sounds dumb, but if your friend like wants a certain food, even just saying like, yeah, like I don't really know if I want that, instead of yeah, sure, like whatever. Just basically saying your opinions. And when you feel like people are taking advantage of you, stand your ground and don't let it happen, because if you keep letting it happen, people are going to keep taking advantage of you, and it's just going to be this whole cycle. Helping others is a really good thing. I'm all for that, don't get me wrong. Just remember that sometimes it's okay to do the things that you like too, because that's what makes you you. So yeah, that's all I really have for today. So I hope this helps some of you out. I know this was pretty short, but that's okay. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and yeah, that's all. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next time. Bye!